been lied on? And I know that's a strong word. I mean, growing up, we weren't allowed to say lie. We had to say fibbing or storytelling. But no, seriously, have you ever been lied on? There's something different about those that have been lied on, how they respond to different situations, to what they hear, to what others are doing or saying about someone else. It's different. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Community Solutions Podcast, the only podcast that is inspiring humanity and leadership within and beyond the workplace. So have you ever been lied on? When you have, there's a different kind of grace that you give for those stories that you start to hear, or when fingers are being pointed at someone. We respond differently. And that's what I want to go over today. I'm going to give you about 10 different differences of how we respond. And I'm talking about myself as well, because I have been lied on. And because of that, my perspective is different when I hear stories. When I hear stories about what others have done, or what they've been accused of, what they've been blamed for, what the talk on the street is, I respond differently. And the first is grace. Did they really? Did they really? And also with that, when someone is telling you someone else's business, I was always taught to understand that they're also telling your business. We hear it all the time. Matter of fact, there was a rapper who they have all these phone calls on, and how he's talking about all these other people. If I was on that phone call with him that he's sharing stories about everybody else, I would automatically think and understand and be obligated to know that he's doing the same to me. He's doing the same to me. We don't always believe what we hear. It has to add up. It has to add up, because we understand when we were in those shoes, when we were facing those same lies, those same untruths, that we wished and we prayed that somebody would really just look at the details. Just listen to what's being shared. Something is being intentionally omitted. Something is being left out. Something is being glossed over. And if you truly listen to a story, you can see the gaps. You can hear the gaps, and then also, is it in alignment with their personality? There's certain things that have to add up in order for me to believe it. And I'm kind of combining, several of my examples together, but it has to make sense. And it has to be in alignment with their character. And then also, when you're in that position, when you have been lied on, you want people to really think back to, okay, what was their experience with me before? Has this ever been something that I've ever done or need to do? Is it in my character? What examples do you have of me doing the opposite? Do you see what I'm saying? And I really wanted to talk about this today because there's so many different stories out, and it could be within your own relationships. It could be what you see on TV, what you see in the news, reality shows, whatever it is, but it could be you. And so, number one, I want to talk about it because it's my experience. Number two is because what I'm seeing in the media, and also as a warning to those who are contributing to these stories. You're messing with someone's reputation, you're messing with someone's name, and that's not to be played with. There's too many other people out here that are actually doing wrong that need to be dealt with, not just, making up stories to support what you want. Because most of the time, these lies, these stories, they're put out there for your detriment so that you won't rise to the level that you should be, that you're positioned for. It's never just for no reason. But the good thing is that God uses everything for your good. That's the good thing. But we shouldn't have to go through it just because. Have you ever been lied on? Do you remember what that felt like? I do, and I'm just like, why doesn't anyone believe me? Listen to what they're saying. It doesn't add up. The pieces of the puzzle don't fit. So how do you believe that? And then the other part of it is that those who were there or, have knowledge of it that don't speak up. We understand. We understand what it feels like when you know that someone could be vouching for you, could be speaking up on your behalf, and they don't. What are you using your voice for? Why do you have a voice if you're not going to use it? What does it really cost you? What are you really trying to save face for? What are you getting out of it? I just want us all to think about the words that are coming out of our mouths. Why speak on someone or their situation when you do not have all the facts? Something to think about. Another thing, when you've been lied on, you become more discerning. That's about in the same realm, but when you've been lied on, you become more discerning. What does your spirit, what does your intuition tell you? Again, what adds up? That's not the same thing, but it is what you're using to put all the other pieces together. That discernment. When you've been lied on and you hear someone else being accused of something, you really start listening to what's unsaid. What is unsaid? Not what is being told, but what is not being told. That's where the gold is. That's where the truth is. When you've been lied on, you don't care about the majority. You don't stick to that bandwagon. You don't have to be with everybody else. You're a free thinker. You don't always have to be the yes man. You actually think about what's being said. And again, you put the pieces together. You know what else we understand? We understand that all that charisma and all that extra personality is unreliable. It's unreliable. It can't be trusted. We understand that is many times used as a cover of the truth. That charisma and that extra personality is used to get people to side with you instead of really listening for the truth. This can be in the workplace. My experience has been personally and professionally. So this can even happen in the workplace. You know, those that have been to HR, have been called to HR, you understand. You understand that, what was said about you wasn't true, and how you had to fight for your reputation and for the truth to come out, and how you're trying to prove your point and your side, and you have all this justification, and you've even poked holes in what's been said about you. We understand. We understand. Let's stop jumping on the bandwagon of every news article that we hear or we read, of every snippet from the media, of every picture that we see, because it's not always, especially with all the technology that we have right now. You cannot believe a photo. You can't trust it. It can be altered. In these days and times, we really have to lean into our discernment and to our inner knowing. We also have to remember the times that it's happened to us. We can't lose sight of that, because we went through that for a reason, to give someone else grace. We understand that anyone can be lied on, regardless of title, regardless of income, regardless of status, name, gender, religion. Anyone can get it. Anyone. And so be careful how you treat people, because it can come back to you. It can come back to you. Maybe not in that moment, but it will. Those that were persecuted, those that were devastated, those that were mistreated, they hurt. It was painful. It was a painful moment. It was a painful season. But on the other end of that, maybe not at that moment or in that season, karma came back from it. Even if we know it or not. It came back. I've seen it in my own experiences, and I'm not saying, I believe in grace and mercy. So karma doesn't always come around. I don't believe karma always come around. But if we treated each other like it did, the world would be a better place. If we treated people how we wanted to be treated, because what goes out comes back, the world would be a better place. There wouldn't be all this hate. There wouldn't be all these murders and storytelling and mistreatment and abuse and lying and stealing. There wouldn't be all that, because we wouldn't want it done for ourselves. It teaches us how not to put ourselves in those positions in the future. You can call it a wall, but yes, we do put barriers and walls in front of us going forward. We see where, okay, this could have been prevented here. Here were some red flags I should have seen many times. And so going forward, we make sure that we don't allow that part to happen again. We're not placing ourselves in that same position. And it could hurt us, because now as soon as we sense it As soon as we are reminded of it in any inkling of a way, we're guarded. We guard ourselves. If you've never been lied on, God bless you. God bless you. Make sure you're not the one doing it to someone else. Because again, we understand. We look at things different. We ask more questions. We try to put the pieces together. We listen to both sides. We listen to what was said and unsaid. We also extend grace. We understand what reputation damage it could cause. Because it's one thing to have to fight through it, and it's another to have to recover from it. And it's very hard to recover because some people will believe those lies regardless. No matter what evidence, what proof you have, they're still going to place that against you because they went through all that trouble to blame you for it. They're not going to believe you just because they've put too much time into not believing you. We understand that. And I just want you to know, let me know if you agree with this. Let me know if you've experienced this. We're not as naive. We're not as gullible. We're not as trusting. We're not. We don't have to side with the majority. We're not going to easily just quickly jump on the bandwagon. And we're going to speak up when we know it's not true. We're going to tell you we don't believe it. We're going to tell you we disagree. And we're going to have the facts to back it up, the proof to back it up, because we want to be that person that we needed in the past. Are you who you needed in the past? Or are you inflicting that same pain and trauma on someone else? It's time to move forward, and it's time to make corrective actions. It's time to do our part in a positive way, in a positive light. It's time to stop speaking on people and their lives when you don't have all the information. That's all I wanted to share today because it was something that was on my heart. When you've been lied on, you act different. You respond differently. If you can relate to this, if you've experienced this on one side or the other, leave a comment. Share your experience. If you disagree, share your experience. This isn't about always agreeing with what I have to say. It's about sharing your experience for others to learn from. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I am Kim the SME, and you have been listening and watching the Community Solutions podcast. You all be blessed. Bye-bye.